All right, so we have another news article giving us just a little bit more information on the potential for the current administration, the White House, to reschedule marijuana. And this again from marijuanamoment.net. The White House has, quote, no action planned on marijuana, but Trump quietly pushes lawmakers on cannabis banking, the report says. So we'll scroll down and we'll read a little bit of this article. And the first paragraph here is the White House says it currently has, quote, no action planned on marijuana reform proposals that President Donald Trump backed on the campaign trail, but the president did attempt to get cannabis banking legislation included in a government funding bill late last year before he took office. So before he had any power, he was already, I guess, starting to work on this. So we'll scroll down here again just a little bit further. A White House official. So again, Donald Trump himself, since he's become president, as far as I know, has made no statements about marijuana reform, legalization, anything. This is an unnamed White House official told CNN in a report published Tuesday that, quote, no action is being considered at this time as far as cannabis is concerned. The next paragraph, the statement implies that the administration may consider taking action in the future, but for the time being, it's not on the list of priorities for the first part of Trump's second term as he pushes to advance an agenda largely focused on immigration, government spending, and various foreign policy issues. And this seems pretty accurate and pretty spot on. Donald Trump has never come out or hasn't come out recently and been opposed to the rescheduling process that has gone on or states having their own legalization. What they're saying is that they've got a lot of other things going on, a lot of other priorities, and this is just very, marijuana rescheduling or marijuana legalization is just very low on the depth chart. So they don't have anything planned as far as taking any action, but it probably means that they would also not take any action against marijuana legalization or legislation from the states, or if this rescheduling process from the DEA continues on, if that is possible at this point. Next paragraph, but notably CNN also reported that three sources familiar with negotiations said Trump and his transition team did seek to sway Congress to include a measure protecting banks that work with state legal cannabis businesses in a continuing resolution to keep the government funded this past December. And I had heard of this, and this is a major problem in states, and I've mentioned this a number of different times, a major problem in states where businesses can operate legally, marijuana businesses can operate legally in a state, but the banking is still controlled federally, so it makes it very difficult for these businesses to take tax deductions, get loans, all kinds of things like that related to banking. So he did try to take that step even before he was the president, just after he got elected. Last thing here, and then this is what they state, but where the executive holds more directly authority is the ongoing rescheduling process, the process that was started by Biden years ago, which was initiated by former President Joe Biden, but has stalled due to complications with the Drug Enforcement Administration hearings on the proposed rule. So there was hearings set, they got delayed, and now it's in the DEA's hands to reinitiate those hearings in order to keep the process going. And I disagree with this part. The president really, at this point, doesn't have anything else left to do with this particular process, the process that was started by Joe Biden. And Biden himself made a number of statements saying that once he started the process, he was out of the loop at that point. Whatever happens was going to happen. It had to go through Health and Human Services, and then it had to go to the DEA, and that was the process. And the DEA has said the same thing. The DEA has come out and said that they have full control over the situation of whether to reschedule or not. Once the president started that process, the president doesn't have anything to do with it anymore. So this process that's potentially still ongoing, this saga that is the rescheduling from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, I don't think Donald Trump has anything to do with it. It just plays out the way that it plays out, and it's up to the DEA to continue these hearings if they so choose to. Again, I made my previous video is I don't think that's got a high likelihood of happening anymore. And then the rest of the article just goes on to recap again 2 articles that I already mentioned. One that they state, the White House states that the attempt to decriminalize marijuana in Washington, D.C. is an example of failed policy. So just see that video if you want more information. That's all the rest of the video kind of speaks of. So again, just a quick update here. Whenever new updates come out, I will make new videos. Until next time, everybody, stay safe.